Okay, welcome back to Cannabis Canada with Jason Wilcox. I have the pleasure of sitting here today with Mr. Aaron Bott. I was able to snag him under the Prairie Cup this year. We're in Winnipeg, and we're here to talk with Glenn Price and Aaron Bott about the recent dispensary raids and about the ongoing supply and distribution battle that's going on in Canada, basically displacing medicinal patients in relation to accessing their medicinal marijuana. Aaron, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's good to have you on the show in person.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here with you.
So, first off, is this your first Prairie Cup?
This is my first cup ever.
First cup ever.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I'm pretty excited.
Awesome. So you're gonna have a chance to try a lot of the judging stuff. We got a lot of judges stuff to bring forward. A lot of people out there are wondering what's gonna happen with MACROS now, and you've been out very vocal that you're moving forward. And I'd like to know myself, you know, what's your disposition, what's your position moving forward and thinking legally? What would be the outcome of your case, I guess? Should we push forward with this, or what would you see as an outcome?
Well, I look at it as it's not a criminal charge, it's a constitutional charge for dispensaries. We've been left out of two different schemes from the government. The MACR did not cover dispensaries. It only covered prairie plant systems and home grows. Now, for the people that couldn't grow for themselves, where were they supposed to get their medicine? Either a grower would help them, or they'd have to go to the dispensary that actually offered a medicine that works for them. Then they came to MMPR, and that left out other grows. So now they can choose, yes, 18 companies, but those 18 companies might not be able to supply the medicine that they need, like concentrates and stuff like that. With Smith winning his case, that opened up a big story for everybody, and that's when Alberta, me, decided that now we can sell concentrates. And that helped a whole bunch of different patients. And now they can come to me for safe access for this medicine of their choice, instead of going to their drug dealer that made it in his garage.
And just so our viewers understand, what Aaron's referring to is the Supreme Court of Canada's language, being that medical patients in the country of Canada can use cannabis in all of its forms, being extracts, whatever it is, all of its forms is all of its forms. Very strong language from the Supreme Court of Canada. So I just wanted to...
Yeah, for sure. And like, we respected that ruling. Like, we were so jealous of BC that they could have edibles and concentrates, and everybody came in that were patients saying, well, when are we getting it? And I'm like, well, I don't see the ruling helping us, but like, we brought in for cancer patients and edibles for people that just couldn't smoke. We did risk that part, but we didn't bring in the high concert dabs. Once that came in play, that opened up the dispensary to everybody that needs any type of medicine. We can access that for them. So my goal is, with the legal route, is to bring in a free and fair market where I can choose wherever I want to get that medicine for the people that come to me and trust me to find medicine for them. They know what they want. I just there to supply and make sure I get the cleanest product as I can. And from what I've found, I can find the cleanest product. But they're trying to take that away from me by closing the supply down, and then closing the people that I can mentor with and say, what works for your patients.
What I find ironic, and I've mentioned this before, is that not only did city councillors, but the city of Calgary, right next to you, is regulating dispensaries and shutting yours down of 11 years.
Yeah, I brought that up to the guy in charge, his name's Gary, the development department, and he said it's a federal issue, we don't want anything to do with dispensaries. There was something about a grow-up committee going on, and I said, that's not dispensaries. Why would I go to a grow-up thing when I'm talking about I want a license to dispense cannabis for patients that have chose this as their medicine? They just shut me down, and we're now looking at federal routes. And my wife Melissa's awesome. She's been doing really well with the NDP. She's been putting the other candidates on the spot, and it's a topic now in Edmonton, and I'm really hoping to push it forward all the way down to Calgary, where they're already educated. There's a great group down there. We just now have to connect Alberta and bring everybody together across Canada, and then they can't stop us all.
Yeah, no, and that's long overdue. And certainly what's going on now is the displacement, because patients can't get doctors. Doctors are not signing. So shutting a place down, the frontline service, and then licensed producers have wait lists. So if patients can't access, which is the fundamental right established in 2000 in the Parker decision, was a reasonable right to access. Well, when is it reasonable to arbitrarily restrict, shut down, and not give any other option but a wait list? This is where the nature of the medical marijuana laws for patients in this country are so convoluted, and I believe, sir, that honestly you're just part of a bigger agenda. There's a monopoly in this country, and you're a strike. You're the opposite to them. You're the person that they got to get rid of in order for they believe your patients are going to run and buy from licensed producers now, and they're trying to sell to the Canadian public. That's necessary for safety. Now, I had the pleasure of having Miss Pamela McCall on my show and being able to actually put into context some of the things she was concerned about, like the kids and addiction. We talked about addiction. It was no more addictive than Monster drinks and caffeine that's available in 7-Eleven. Should we pull it off all the shelves? You know, what exactly should we do about caffeine? This is the context of it. Putting carcinogens into context, you know, when we want to talk about cancer relation to cannabis. So again, protecting the kids from addiction, protecting the kids from stuff that isn't necessarily there, while saying it's okay for a patient like myself to go and access the MMPR failing system. You know, again, that wait list is the exact same cannabis grown the exact same way, and is the exact same safety and efficiency, and safety and efficiency of any other cannabis. So this is one thing we've noticed. We've tested stuff from Tilray. We've tested stuff from BC growers who just properly grow their stuff. They come back the same. You know, I don't think anybody that grows their own medicine wants to grow anything that's going to make them sick. And I don't think any good patient provider, especially someone like Mr. Bott of 11 years that has helped thousands of patients, you know, would want to serve something to his patients and get sick, nor would he be able to keep operating for 11 years if he was making people sick. So the whole argument behind this is nothing more than there's a monopoly, and this is about money. And I believe, sir, that that's a target of yourself, Mr. Price, and that's starting with the Central Plains. While they box up BC, they're taking 100 clubs, they're putting it up into 16, and then I believe that they're going to, with a strike of the pen, say now you have to sell licensed producer cannabis or shut down.
I totally agree with you there. Totally.
So I went into a bit of a tirade, but now fill me in after that, hearing all my little side of that. Fill me in on your take, because I know a lot of people in the Central Plains have started really coming together, and you're right, we've needed this. It's long overdue. We're seeing people in Alberta rising up. A lot of our troops are coming out and together, and they're standing up. They're saying enough's enough. There's a war going on in this country, and it's political, and it's a necessary war. It needs to be. It's a dialogue that needs to be had, but we cannot allow in the country Canada a monopoly to work with the legislative arm and actually be allowed to set up and sell under the scheme of medical, when our health minister says there's no medical value to marijuana. There's so much going on with corruption that Canada needs to ask ourselves, when did we stop being the country that cares for our sick, our dying, and our most disabled? Just in closing, where can we find you for fundraising? Where can people go? You can go to our GoFundMe page at gofundme.com/MACROS, or you can send email transfer to macrosdonations@gmail.com.
On that note, this is Jason Wilcox, and we got more to bring to you. Aaron, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more from CannabisCanada.ca. Cheers.